Hello everyone and welcome back to another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the process of team building in One Piece Treasure Cruise. Now team building is probably the most important factor of playing One Piece Treasure Cruise, because every time there's a new piece of content you need to make teams for it, and it's quite a lengthy process to team build for a quest, and it's quite complicated, which is what actually sets One Piece Treasure Cruise aside from other gachas, because you actually need to think when building a team. You can't just throw random units. There's not one team for all pieces of content, so there's multiple stages of team building, and this video I'm just going to be going through all of them, and at the end of the video I'll be giving you an example of team building. I'll make my own team for a piece of content, but without further ado, let's get straight into the video and start off with the first thing you'll need to do when building a team. The first step you need to take in team building is actually finding out what the boss's gimmicks are. So obviously you have decided what piece of content you're going up against now, and you need to find out what the bosses do so that you can actually build a team surrounding that and they can actually beat it. So as an example here, you can actually just go on YouTube and search up the piece of content that you are wanting to beat, and then just go into the video and you can actually visually see what the bosses do and what their typing is, so you can build a team that can beat them quite easily. So that's one option. Another option is actually going into the quest yourself and seeing what the bosses do. That's a bit annoying though, because you'll probably need to enter the quest multiple times to figure out everything that the boss does. And another thing I can think of is going to the nakama.network site. I don't use it often. Usually I just go into YouTube and search up what the content does, but I've heard it's a pretty good site where you can see what the bosses do. You can also, from what I've seen, you can also find teams if you don't want to team build yourself. So a very useful site. I'll leave it in the description down below and in the pinned comment. But that is the first phase, figuring out what the bosses do, so you can actually start building your team for the piece of content. Let's move on to the second step you'll need to take in team building. Now you can start building your team. So the first thing is deciding what your captain is going to be. Now you want to be running many units on your team that are type advantageous against most of the bosses. So in the instance of most of your bosses being decks, you want to be using strength, since they are strong against decks. In this example here, I'm going to be using the Snake Man unit. He's a very good captain. He's a very good strong strength character. For your captain, you want to be mainly running units that have a 4.5 to 5x captain ability that is very strong. He also gives 1.3x HP and recovery, so he's a very good defensive unit, and he also makes your recovery orbs matching. So overall, a very good captain, good attack, HP recovery, and good matching orbs. So very strong offensive and defensive unit. You also want to take into consideration the special. Is your captain going to contribute to your team with a special? If they don't, then it might be time to consider using a different unit. But Snake Man is a very good unit with the special as well, so in this example today I'm going to be using him. But let's move on to the next thing, which is deciding your subs. So the next thing you want to do is be adding subs to your crew. So these are going to be the units that are supporting your captain. So for your subs, you want to obviously be running units that are boosted by both your captain and your friend captain. Otherwise your synergy will be poor and you probably won't be able to clear the quest. So since Snake Man boosts mainly strength characters, you can just go into your typing and filter to strength. Then you can go to the special filter, and then you can use this to find units that are going to reduce the debuffs that your enemy gives in the quest itself. So this is very useful, and once you have all your debuffs removed with subs, then you can mainly focus on units that are going to help you boost your damage, so that you can actually deal enough damage to kill the enemies. So you can do this by going to the filter. There's this tab called boost damage, and these are all effects that your crew can give to boost your damage. But before going to there, you want to make sure that you have a full board of matching orbs. That's basically the foundation of having good damage. A full board of matching orbs is basically essential if you want to have good damage. So find a unit that gives full board of matching orbs, and then you can start focusing on other units that boost damage. So basically first find a unit that's going to reduce the debuffs, then find a unit that's going to give you a full board of matching orbs, and then find other damage boosting units to have on your crew. So you just have to find a good balance of all these units. You can also multitask with subs by running units that both reduce the debuffs as well as giving you damage boosting effects to save spots on your crew. But that is the basics of what of your team composition. Now I'm going to the more detailed bits on how to team build. So I've built an example team here using a bunch of strength units that are going to boost damage as well as reduce a bunch of enemy defensive effects and debuffs on your crew. So here Boa gives a color affinity boost as well as reducing paralysis and special bind. Paralysis and attack down. Then Ace is going to give a full board of matching orbs as well as an attack boost. Then Paraspero is going to give an orb boost and reduce enemy defensive effects. And then Orochi is another unit that's going to reduce a bunch of debuffs on your crew. Now, one thing I forgot to talk about in the last stage of team building is you want to make sure that your subs and specials actually work well with all the other units on the team. So this Paraspero, he's very specific here. You need to have a strength captain to get the orb boost in his specials. So make sure you meet all the requirements for your specials and make sure everyone is boosted by the specials and your captain ability to make sure there is good synergy. But the next thing I'm going to be talking about here is support abilities. Now, support is something you only need to focus on a bit later on, but supports are very helpful in content because at first it wasn't too relevant since most of the supports are just stat boosters, but there's so many different units now, like the Sanji that attaches to Luffy and Zoro characters, reduces paralysis and despair by 2 turns. So sometimes you can literally just use supports to reduce all the debuffs on a stage. That's just how useful supports are nowadays. They're a bit harder to level up since support medals are very rare, but once you get a decent amount of supports, they are very useful. Even if you're not using it for utility, you can just run stat boosting supports like this Roger here. Just give more damage to your crew and different stats, which is awesome to have. So supports usually need to first focus on what their requirements are, who they're attached to, and then see what they can actually contribute to your team to actually help you clear a stage. So supports are very interesting and helpful to have. But let's move on to the next point, which is about ships. So the next thing you need to worry about is your ship. So ship is very important because if you use a good ship, you can get an extra 1.5x damage boost, which is amazing to have. If you don't have that, your damage is going to be significantly less. So you need to find a good ship that boosts all of your captains and subs. So since we're running a mainly strength based team, we're going to actually look for a good ship that is going to boost our strength units. So from what I know, a good ship for that, it would be the Big Mom ship, which is the Queen Mama Shanta. So this is a very good ship if your captain is driven up. Oh, never mind. Snake Man is not a driven up powerhouse unit. A good ship here is the Shark Superb. It boosts your crew attack by 2x if your captain is strength, dex, or quick. With obviously the side effect of your damage multiplier being reduced every single turn. So this is a speed ship, but it's a very good and fast ship to use for content. It boosts all of our units since our captain is a strength unit. So having a good ship is very important. You can unlock ships by doing the training forests on Extra Island and also unlocking them for 30 gems on the unlockable quests. So that is basically everything you need to know about ships. But let's move on to the next point. So the last thing I want to be talking about in this video is damage. Now damage is very important. So going back to the team building phase of the video, having good subs that boost damage and give you matching orbs is very important, because if you cannot kill the enemy, then you're probably going to fail the quest. So this is a very useful site, especially for Kizuna and other pieces of quest where you're trying to do the most damage possible. So this is a site where you can just punch your team in here and it will show you how much damage it does against each type. So it's very helpful. It's pretty detailed, but also very easy to use. I'll leave it in the pinned comment down below and as well as the description. So that's pretty much it for this video. That's most of the phases and different things you need to worry about during team building. But I didn't go through literally everything. It's very detailed for team building. There's also different things like captains that have inbuilt utility in their captain effect that you can use to save some spots as a sub, but I won't be going into detail about that. This is all the basics you need to know about team building. If you're a beginner player or even a late game player who doesn't know a lot about team building, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.